Hey there,
Oh,
guys. How are you? Yeah, I was going to put an opening up, but I don't really have one for this. I have an old one, but that doesn't really do it. So,
No.
at any rate, hi there, folks. We are here tonight, impromptu, sort of. We talked about it, and then I got crazy busy with stuff, and then we thought, oh yeah, we were going to talk about the trailer tonight, weren't we? And so
that's
I
yes.
threw it together. But yeah, we're here tonight just to sit down and talk a little bit about the new trailer that just dropped for Strange New Worlds.
Yes.
We are very excited about it.
I'm
And
super excited about it.
super excited. And also, I'm going to take this moment, which I don't think we've done, to welcome Keith, who during our Strange New Worlds run, starting on the 15th, will be a regular member of the crew here.
Yay!
And we're very excited.
Do I get a parking spot?
Yes, we are very excited that Keith has decided to sign on to the ship and be part of our discussions week to week. That doesn't mean we won't have a guest here and there, but Keith will be with us every night, so we're really thrilled with that.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm just counting the days until.
Yes,
Technically, that's not true because you were to ask me. I could not tell you how many days, but I'm super excited for the new Strange New Worlds.
Yes. Well, I was super excited too when I realized that last week we had to talk about Final Frontier. So anyway,
Better you than me.
yeah, right, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah. I think you were actually the only person we had in the comments that night, Keith.
Yeah, it was.
Talk about a loyal follower of the show, man. Anywho, so I don't know how we want to do this. Do we want to just run this trailer?
Yeah.
And get a first reaction shot of us watching this trailer, and then we'll go back and pick it apart. And
I would like to do it that way because I have not actually seen this trailer yet. I've been avoiding the trailer.
I know.
Just for this.
Be fresh,
and it's been hard on me too. It's like, I mean,
yeah.
Look at that. I feel like I know it's there. I know it's there.
Yeah. All right. So let's
fine,
see here.
But this is my shooting hand.
Right. Yeah. All right, guys. Here it is. Add to the story.
You gonna start the engine sometime soon, Erica?
Don't worry. I did this 100 times during the war. It's like riding a bike.
I sense a tension, the feeling that something's in the air.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Our job puts us up against death. And we might not like it, but we do have to face it. Hold on to your saddles.
We are explorers. It's easy to forget how awesome that is.
That's the mission. It's what we love most.
I have this crazy theory.
I love a crazy theory.
Oh, yay.
What's this mean?
I don't know. Shut up.
Do you know the odds of all of us being here at this time? It's improbable, and yet here we are, together. Surprise!
Oh man.
Live long and prosper, Mr. Boimler.
You also live and
Boimler and Mariner. I have to admit that is the season, the episode I'm probably most looking forward to is those old scientists.
Those old scientists. I'd love it. I mean, I'm like Keith. I have little self-control, and I've watched it a number of times. In fact, I sort of broke down like the images, like the bits I saw.
Right.
There's a lot to unpack here.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
And
Well, and see, we did this. This is what made me think of it. We did this with the end credits for Picard. We sat down and, okay, wait, no, back that up. Okay, go back and go back
Right.
so many frames. and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing that. So I thought we would do that with this.
Sure.
Scott Taylor is here.
Scott!
Hey, Scott.
Thank you for joining
Thank you,
us
Scott.
at this odd hour on a Saturday night. Where we said vaguely last episode, yeah, we're going to do it maybe 8:30 or 9, and then here we are at 9:35. But yeah, thank you for joining.
It's got a 9 in it.
It says I'm a 9 in it. You're right. So, all right. Shall I rewind this?
Yes.
And
Yes.
we will. Now, we've got this little opening bit where it's sort of like you've already seen this, and it tells you the trailer's going to start.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. That's not. Hang on. I got to put us back in that. Okay. Now.
That shuttle's seen better days.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So that really looked like a mess.
Could you roll it back a few frames?
I sure can.
Keep going. Okay, so right there.
Yeah.
Like, is it a mess, or do they got crap piled on it like they're
No, you know, you're right.
Hillbilly in it. Hillbilly.
You are right, Keith, because if you look at the front of the shuttle where it has that little diamond arrow shaped thing that's on the front of the shuttles, it looks like it's being covered up by something. See, I originally thought when it first went by that it was like, oh, that's like the superstructure of a shuttle. But I don't think it is. I think you're right. I think it's being covered by something, because it really does look like a mess.
It does look like it's sort of been repaired with what was
You know, and it's hitting atmosphere, which is why it's, you know, burning like that.
I wonder if
yeah,
they're using it as an ablative heat shield.
I don't know, but it's interesting. There are the typical little the impulse, I guess, drive that's on the back of the shuttle with the two nacelles on the side.
Yeah.
And obviously, where are they coming from?
It's unclear.
Wait, right there. That looks like a debris field back there behind him.
It does. It does look like a debris field. So, all right.
You gonna start the engine sometime soon, Erica?
Don't worry. I did this 100 times during the war.
Now, which war do you think she's talking about?
I was thinking about this.
Yeah.
Because the Romulan War was much earlier.
Right.
You know, but if you recall in Discovery, there was the Klingon War.
Right.
And when the Enterprise shows up, you know, we see it briefly. We just see the ship at the end of season 1.
Right.
And in season 2, Pike shows up and he's got a bunch of his officers with him, including Una.
Yep.
Later in the season, we get to see them go back he goes back to the Enterprise, and he's got his bridge crew there. He's got Spock, and he's got Una, and a bunch of other people who I don't think we saw in Stranger Worlds. But it's the Enterprise had just come from like a deep space exploration mission. It didn't take part in the war.
Right.
So it's entirely possible she was serving on another ship during the war.
That makes sense.
Because the Enterprise was damaged, but I don't remember why. When it shows up on Discovery, the Enterprise is putting out a distress call.
Was it? It's been a while.
Yeah,
It's been a
putting
while.
out
I
a
think
distress
that's right.
call, and that's where they stumbled across it. So it was damaged, which is why they brought Pike on board the Discovery, because
they were supposed to go to Vulcan, if I recall, to pick up their new captain, and then the Enterprise shows up, and they got orders like, no, your new captain is coming on this ship.
Yeah.
I don't remember it being damaged, but it's been a while since I've seen it, so if any of our viewers know the particulars.
Sure it was damaged, but I don't remember why.
And it was and there was some reason that this, again, like you say, Leo, it's been a while, but my recollection was that was why they decided to put Pike onto the Discovery as an acting captain at the time, because they had lost their captain.
Right.
And the Enterprise had to be refit or repaired. So
could be.
Therefore,
as I recall, that they had come from a deep space exploration mission. They did not fight in the war.
Right.
You know, but it doesn't preclude them from having fought other, things out there.
Sure.
So
sure.
My theory, and it's just a working theory, is that she served on some other ship
Okay.
during the Klingon War.
Right.
I do love seeing her get like the spotlight at the very top of this trailer.
Me too.
Because
and right there, you see all of
Yeah.
that clear glee that she has for piloting.
Yeah.
Yes, it's good. Dare I say it's Data-esque?
Yeah. And then here you hear her. Yeah, I don't know. That's great. All right. Do you have any other thoughts on that?
I just love it. I just love, because we've seen her on the bridge of Enterprise and do cool stuff. She doesn't get it. She didn't get her own episode, which we know she's getting this season.
Right.
And apparently, from what the actress has said, some of the stuff that's going to be in this season will sort of explain kind of who she is.
Right.
And like you'll look back at the first scene and be like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know if that is from her episode. We did see there was a clip that was put out a while back where she was excited to go on like a landing party, and she had they had that sort of kind of like Inuit gear, and she had her hat, which she was very excited about her hat. And then she was like, no, we need you to stay here because you need to pilot the Enterprise and you're the best, pilot on the ship. And, she seems very disappointed. So I don't know whether that is going to be her episode or not. We don't know. I'm hoping she gets more attention this season because she's a very intriguing character. And I feel like I want to know more about her.
Yes. So. Yes. All right.
It's like riding a bike.
Now you do get to see in this trailer a couple of times a lot of shots of the Enterprise clearly in a small scale to its environments.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
And also, it was always my impression from the original show that the nacelles made it such, the construction of them made it such that the Enterprise could not enter an atmosphere. But that's clearly not the case that we see now in Strange New Worlds.
Right. I mean, if you go back to the very first episode.
Sense of tension, the feeling that something's in the air.
Oh my God.
Wait, okay, now what are those?
Yeah.
I don't know. Some sort of alien ships. Now, they look like a Starfleet. At first, it looks like almost like a mid-century American small town, which is a very Star Trek idea because they use backlots.
Let's go back
so a lot of their sets were like, hey, we're going to do, Landry's going to be on a planet that looks like the turn of the century.
Right. Right. But that definitely, I hate to tell you what that looks like. It looks an awful lot like Hill Valley.
Well, it might be the same set. I don't know.
I mean, think about it. Hill Valley in the 1950s from Back to the Future had that same kind of central, concourse with the different spires into the square, with the grass and the trees.
But the woman who we see say, "Oh my God," I think that is, and she shows up later in the trailer, is Captain Patel. I think.
Oh right.
I think that is
his girlfriend.
His Pike's girlfriend, the one who arrested Una at the end of the last season.
Right.
So I'm not 100% sure because it's
somebody, and I'm not sure, that looks like Ortega actually is standing there next to her in the background because I can see a delta on that leather jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the question is, I don't know if this is Earth or if this is some colony world that has got a real mid-20th century, hard on.
Because later on, now I don't know if you see it in this trailer. You see footage from the same episode, but there is footage in the first trailer, I believe, which I don't happen to have a copy of here tonight, where you see this business with Kirk and Una and Kirk's getting stuck in a revolving door.
Yes.
Mm.
And it looks very much like he's walking into like a Forever 21 or something. It's a
we will see a little later on. We see Kirk and
I don't know if that. It's been speculated that that's a time travel episode.
I think it might be because,
Right.
like, he seems flummoxed by the concept of a revolving door,
Right.
which may no longer be an existing sort of
And
thing.
it looked very 21st century. It looks very contemporary, the environment.
So
but whether that is the same episode where there's because you do see things blowing up in that. Well, we'll get to that footage soon. But yeah, it's interesting. Obviously, something is casting a giant shadow over the ground.
Yeah.
There and it's this, which, my God, I can't really even. It looks like a giant, like stripy worm or something. It's very, you know,
it does have a weird segmented. It's hard for me to tell on the screen I'm looking at, which is my phone, which is a little tinier, but it does have kind of a segmented sort of aesthetic to it.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, but now there are. Oh, those are like playgrounds. There's like a playground. Those are like the little things children climb on. But that in the left-hand side of the screen does look like some sort of a modern car or craft of some sort.
Yeah, it's.
So
I mean, right now, again, it's all pure speculation.
Right.
Job.
Oh, and apparently Una gets out of jail.
Yes.
Well, yes, and
I don't think that was.
That's also been dropped. A little bit of her trial has also been dropped. That's out there right now too. So, all right, I'm gonna keep rolling this until you guys tell me to stop.
Death.
Oh, right, wait.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. This is, I think, part of that same scene, that same episode.
Yeah.
With Kirk and Leon.
Yeah, I like it, but we do have to face it.
Now we have Genghis Khan.
This actually, I believe, this is supposed to be Rigel 7. If you remember,
yes,
the pilot, and he has the the cage. He has the flashback, and he's on Rigel 7, and there's the guy, and of course he's got like they hired this big hulking actor and gave him this sort of cheap ass, like Dracula fangs, a lot of eyebrow makeup. And I think this is, I don't know if it's probably not the same mission because that had happened before the events of the cage, and the events of the cage have already happened.
Yes.
Well, as far as I understand it.
No, they haven't happened yet. Oh, have they?
Yeah, I believe we saw a flashback or something in season 2 of Discovery.
Yeah, and Vina shows up in that because they talk to the Telosians. So
I should have known, and when I saw the swords and the armor, but
yeah. So I think that he's back on Rigel 7 for some reason.
Yeah,
which is
that's exciting.
It is exciting. I do love when they're in some place where it's like, they have to fight with swords.
Hold on to your saddles.
By the way, that was fucking badass to block like a shot with like a platter.
Yeah, I know. There he is. Wow.
Hold on to your saddles.
We are explorers. It's easy to forget how awesome that is.
Wait, what are we walking on here?
This looks like the
hull
like
of a damaged starship.
I'm going to say I hope it's not the Enterprise, because the Enterprise got really messed up last season. I hope it's not going to be like every season they have one point where it just gets like beat the shit out of.
Right. That looks. Well, it may be that this is part of the episode with the shuttle leaving the debris field.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
That looks like Spock on the saucer section of some sort Starfleet ship.
Yep.
And
That is.
That's the mission.
let's go back a little bit because there was a little tail and this head coming in. I think it's a Gorn. It's my prediction.
Is it a Gorn or a robot?
That is.
That right there.
Oh, yeah. That could be a Gorn. I think we're going to have some Gorn action in this because we see... Is it in this trailer or the other one where we see Leon face-to-face, like almost alien style with the Gorn?
I think it's the other one.
It's what we love most.
Now, there we got... Okay.
Yeah, let's take a look.
What we would call modern Klingons.
Yes.
We see ridges.
Drinking blood wine.
With
traditional... And the same sort... Very similar sort of flagon that we saw them use.
That's this crazy theory. I love a crazy...
Now I want to mention something. I read in an article about Spock. Yeah, there it is. There's the flagon.
Yeah.
And the article said that they were talking about how this season, it was with one of the showrunners, and they were talking about how this season they're going to try to make some canon connections, not retrocon things, not go back and fix things, but to make some connections that start to bring things together.
Right.
Because they don't know if they're going to get 3 seasons or 7, but they want to be able to start tying this show into the universe we know from TOS. So one of the things is Spock, because Spock in his youth, as we see him in Strange New Worlds, tends to occasionally crack a smile. He tends to try to laugh. If you remember from last season, he's laughing at the end of a dangerous shuttle mission, and he's saying, you know, he's referencing what Pike had said about sometimes things go so bad you have to laugh.
Yes.
So he's trying that on. And they even referenced in the original pilot when you see smiling Spock looking at the plant, singing plant. Right. So the idea being that Spock is going to have some of those human traits dating all the way back to that original pilot, and that he's going to develop his calm, logical, stoic behavior as time goes on, depending on how long Strange New Worlds runs.
I like that. And it's interesting because, and Gene Roddenberry commented on this, you know, he did the pilot, he did the Cage, and, you know, Network was like, you know, get rid of the woman. We don't believe, you know, she should be in command of anything.
Right.
And and to back up the intelligence of that remark, there's a, while you're at it, get rid of the guy with the ears too.
Yeah.
And I couldn't say both. So he married the woman and he kept the alien.
Yeah.
Now, if you recall, the character of number 1 in the Cage was referred to as a walking freezer unit by Gary Mitchell.
Yeah.
You know, rather crudely, and, you know, sort of like, she's your boss too, dude. So maybe, maybe
misogyny is strong with this one.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe wait till you're off duty before you. But anyway, so they took that sort of stoic quality that number 1 possessed and gave it to Spock.
Yes.
So, because he was not originally intended to be this emotionless figure, this you know, stoic mountain that he became.
One of my favorite Spock moments from the Cage is when the aliens, the Telosians, just beam down all the female officers. And
the women!
Shouts, the women! Which I think is great. Yeah. All right. So here we see Spock carousing with Klingons. Yeah.
I love that. I don't know what's going on. I want to know more.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's clearly in the center of a huge crowd of Klingons. So that's interesting.
I have this crazy theory. I love a crazy theory.
And then we get Carol Kane as
Kane. I love seeing that we've got Carol Kane. That's fantastic. I said yay the minute I saw that. Now, this looks like this is part of whatever ship is being damaged that we see him walking on.
I have this crazy theory. I love a crazy theory.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Wait. Let's go back at that. I want to look at that crashing. Okay, slow down. I'm trying to see if we can see any nacelles behind it. I don't see any secondary hole underneath it.
No, it's so short. It's only a few frames.
Boy, they really get you. That's how they get you.
Yeah, it's how they get you. But it's definitely a Federation saucer section, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it might have been a saucer section that separated from the main hull.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless it's
and I
one
don't
of those
believe
scout ships like we saw in the first season, and also from the Star Trek technical manual for you old nerds like us, which had, saucer section, bit of a neck, and then one engine.
Yeah.
So
now I will say it's hard to tell because you've got a lot of smoke and flame coming off the front of that ship, but I don't see the indented part of the saucer section that has the windows in the front of the Enterprise.
Yeah, I don't think it's the Enterprise. I think it's.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
What does this mean?
I don't know. Chap.
Woo!
Wow.
I'm very conflicted about first of all, I love the new chapel.
Right.
With all due respect to Majel Barrett,
Right.
Roddenberry.
Right.
But this, like as I said when we reviewed this, our original run of Trek Tonight and also of Stranger Worlds, she's no longer sort of the Miss Lonely Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
She has a lot of agency. She does what she wants. She's not ashamed of who she is. She's very confident.
Yeah.
And she definitely has a bit of a thing for Spock. And I think he's not unreceptive to that, at least on maybe a subconscious level. And
he looks pretty conscious now.
What?
Well, and this could be a fake out. There could be some reason that they're doing this that has nothing to do with them being into each other.
Yeah, it's hard to say because it's such a short step.
What does this mean?
I don't know. Chap.
And he says, "What does this mean?" And she says, "I don't know. Shut up."
Yeah.
And then she kisses him.
Yeah.
Now, I do know that they talked a little bit about this too, when they talked about Spock, and they referenced the fact that they gave Nurse Chapel a little bit more to do, and they have more of a connection with him right up front. So they are going to address that. That was one of the other points they brought up as far as sewing canon together.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure what he's doing here.
It looks like he just got the job or the girl.
Yeah, he looks
or
really
something.
super excited.
Like he just threw the winning touchdown.
Do you know the odds?
Wait. I really hope she's asking that of Spock. And Spock goes, "Well, yes, they are 937,328 to 1 against." I really want that to be what happens after that.
That would be very much on brand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know the odds of all of us being here at this time?
Whoa. It's a lot of smooching.
Now that is Captain Patel.
That is
again.
Captain Patel, yes.
And at first, when I first watched this, I was like, "Is that Una?" I'm like,
Right, that's what I thought when I first saw it.
And I was like, I don't think I like that because it's just
right.
too I kind of like them being sort of professional. Or at least
but it's not. It's not.
It's her, which
it's her. You got suckered because they had this shot and they cut right to that.
Yeah.
And they're both dark-haired women in gold.
Yes.
But it's interesting, too, because it looks as though M'Benga's going to get kind of an action. He looks a little rough around the edges here, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
And again, I like all these characters. I'm so glad we're getting to see that we've seen more of M'Benga.
Right.
I thought he was a cool character when he showed up on the original show. He only got 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And I would have liked to have seen more of him.
Right.
And now we are getting to see more of the character, different actor, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about it. If you notice, Uhura is no longer a cadet.
I was going to say that.
Oh, yeah.
You can see that's not the cadet.
Badge. She has a regular duty badge.
Yep.
And she's now part of the crew, like full time.
The odds.
Wait, okay, pause right there. Okay, back up a frame or two.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh boy, it really doesn't.
What?
Is that the saucer? No, not the ship that they're standing on. Yeah, that one right there.
Right.
Is that the busted? Maybe not. I don't know. I'm just trying to decide if that's the ship.
I will tell you,
that we
Keith,
see crashing.
I will tell you, Keith, that looks an awful lot like a bridge handrail behind them.
Oh yeah,
Could
But
be.
I could be wrong.
It does look like some sort of derelict.
Yeah.
Explosion. That's exciting.
Yeah, interesting.
Here at this time, it's improbable. Yet.
Wait, who is that?
The blonde, I believe that was Chapel beaming.
Oh yeah,
down.
that's Chapel. That's
Okay.
Chapel.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I'm not used to her having her hair up like that.
It's improbable. Yet, here we are, together.
Now we are seeing some shots of Kirk and Uhura together here.
Yeah. Now I think Kirk is he'll probably only appear in one episode, although I have nothing to base that on other than
Right.
The idea of him guest starring for an episode doesn't overshadow the rest of the cast.
Right.
Right. Right.
But I like the idea that he and her having a little toast, that they'll eventually serve together, which is a nice little moment.
Right. Yeah, because there was never any indication that Uhura served on Pike's ship before.
No, that's brand new, and
Yeah.
they admit it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's nothing. For those people who watch canon, there's nothing against it either.
No, there isn't.
Yeah.
There isn't. All right, hang on. Let me get back over here.
All right. Yay!
There they are.
Boimler and Mariner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Boimler's hair does not look particularly purple, but we won't get into that.
I think it's the lighting.
It is like I've seen other shot. I've seen still shots where it definitely is purple. It's just darker on the show in real life than it is in a cartoon, but it is purple.
Right. Now, is that because his hair? He just chose to have it be purple.
I would
don't know why they
assume
made
so,
it purple,
but
although there's been a
Boimler is
reference
human,
on Lower
correct?
Decks that he dyes his hair.
Yeah, Boimler is human,
Yeah.
so it's not a natural thing for him to have purple.
No. But it's, much like there are blue-haired people on The Simpsons, and people,
Right.
it's.
How do you like the real life versions of the uniforms? I think they're pretty good.
They look very good, and I love both these actors.
Yep.
Oh, dear.
I think that shows that Leo had an explosion on his ship
There you go.
in that scene.
Maybe his ship is one that's crashing in the show.
Maybe it is. Maybe Leo's the one that's on
There
that
you go,
derelict
I'm
ship.
back.
There he is.
Just popped out of the clamp. But yeah,
Hey,
I do.
it's Saturday night. Anything's possible.
Saturday night is the night to pop out your clamp.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, whatever you do in private, I don't want to know about.
Surprise!
I do love that, and I love his expression.
Yeah, yeah. Now, clearly, it has to be something to do. I hate to say this, Keith, but with time travel, don't you think, or dimensional something or other? Because
As long as they're not trying to fix a paradoxes, I'm not. And you know what?
Yeah.
It's Boimler and Mariner. I don't care. All they have to do is be Boimler and Mariner, and I am going to. Just I don't care. I don't care.
yeah.
Just make me laugh. I don't care. That's all you got to do.
Right.
Surprise!
Now, who the heck was that? Who's this guy?
That
looks like Pike.
Looks like Pike with a mask on, like some sort of.
Now, here it just gets insane.
Yeah, it's just like bum 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 bum.
Bum, 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 bum. Nice shot of the Enterprise. Clearly an Ortega move.
Yeah.
Bum, bum, bum.
Live long and prosper, Mr. Boimler.
You also live and...
There's my Boimler.
Yeah.
That's so perfect. He Boimlered that moment. You know.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well,
they were saying too that the nice thing for doing this crossover is that the actors look very much like their characters.
Yeah, they do.
So they're able.
By the way, you can see hints of purple in his hair. As
let me look and see. Let's see. He's starting to beam.
There, you can see.
Yeah, I sort of see it. Yeah.
It's just the lighting. His hair is purple.
Bright as it is on the.
Right on the.
I have a theory that the opening and closing, maybe, I don't know if it's the opening. I believe there's going to be some animation in it, and they're going to somehow end up.
I read that. Yeah.
I'm a big fan. I would say Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks are my two favorite of the more recent Star Trek shows.
Yeah.
Although the last season of Picard certainly gave it a run for its money.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
To me, this feels like we're getting more original Trek. It's a little slicker. Special effects are better. The acting is better. The writing is not as, like there's not that, like, well, what are we going to do? Well, we can use the Bonanza set. All right. Let's do something aliens and OK Corral. All right.
Yeah. Now it's interesting. You've got Boimler and Mariner in the background, and you've got Pike and Leanne in the foreground.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure why they would all be beaming somewhere together.
I don't know. It's
because Spock looks like he's saying goodbye.
Yeah.
To Boimler.
Maybe they have to get them somewhere to get them back to their proper time.
Maybe. But Pike and Leanne are going with them, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
Now I'm not aware, so I'm just speculating. Maybe you two have heard something that I have not.
Okay.
Is this going to be a two-way crossover where Boimler and Mariner are on Strange New Worlds, and then when we get Lower Decks,
I've heard
Pike and Leanne are going to be animated on Lower Decks?
I think so. I don't know about you.
I want to see that. That hadn't even occurred to me, and I want it so badly.
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering if the moment we're looking at right here is the moment that the animated version, the animated half of the crossover happens.
It might be.
Well, I know that this is like the 7th episode. Those Old Scientists is episode 7. So,
okay.
And then I believe Lower Deck starts up again in the fall. I want to say September, although I don't think they've given a solid date.
Right.
Paramount is not, they sometimes they'll say, "Hey, we're going to be out on this date," and everybody's excited, and then the others are coming out later this year, sometime in the fall or whatever. And I'm sure there's a lot of moving parts, that they're trying to.
Well, and I know that not that I want to get into it, but because we've already talked about it a lot, but I know that the writer's strike does not impact animators.
It's a different guild.
And they settled their contract. So that's why they're able to continue to produce things. So it may very well be. I would like to see it be a crossover in both ways.
I would love to too, but
I think that would be fun.
You got to know that Strange New World, Lower Decks season 4 was completed well, because it's like there's like a year between writing an episode and it being done with animation.
Yeah,
there's a lot going on there.
I'm just looking at this high speed edit at the end, just trying to see if there's anything else in here to pick out. Is that has to be the Enterprise?
That's the Enterprise.
Right. There's Pike,
and I know that light fixture. I've seen this set before. That light fixture behind him looks very. Oh wait, what is on the doors?
Is that a Klingon thing?
It looks like a Klingon.
It looks a little like a Klingon. The Klingon.
It does.
Maybe.
And then that looks like a poster for something from Star Wars. I'm kidding. I don't know what that is. But yeah, that could be. It seems very bright for a Klingon ship, though. I got to tell you.
Yeah, they
It does,
They
and
tend to go to mood lighting right away. The Klingons.
Yeah, it actually looks like a building.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that is Klingon because, that whatever you call that triangular symbol.
Right.
It looks like we got a couple of doors that are in the process of sliding open.
Right.
Right.
And those silver symbols are in the act. It's look like there's one on each side, so it would be they'd be that's some
No,
kind
you're
of
right.
together.
Right.
But yeah.
But it definitely looks like some sort of symbol. Apparently, well, there's Chapel getting a little boxing in. It looks like maybe Leanne is holding the bag. Maybe
No, that was like
Uhura.
Uhura.
Oh, is it her? It's hard to
That
tell
looks
because
like
it's very
Uhura.
dark.
That short haircut. Look at the way the hair is cut.
Yeah, that's Uhura,
Yeah.
I think.
That
I'm
is
sure it's
Uhura, yeah. And
Wait, back up one frame. Wait, okay, I want to see that frame right there.
Yeah. That's that same ship burning
That's
up.
that same ship, and I don't see nacelles, and I don't see a secondary.
I wonder if it's a Gorn ship.
That's awfully.
No, I still
That's an
think it's a
awfully
Federation.
saucery. That's an awfully
You know what I'm
saucery.
seeing? Look on the right-hand side of the image. Doesn't that look like a nacelle coming down like a Reliant class ship?
It's so hard to tell.
Yeah. Interesting.
It looks like two. I'm looking at a very small image because I'm using my phone for this.
Right.
But it looks like two people are standing in front of the wreck.
Yeah, in space. Well, we've seen them flying out of it in the spacesuits.
Right.
So that's from that same episode. Interesting. And then I don't know what.
And again, we saw this earlier. This weird sort of trippy alien room with all sorts of like reflective, iridescent stuff going on. I'm not sure what's going on because we saw Leanne and was it Leanne in Uhura or Eric and Uhura? And Uhura's doing like a little shimmy there. You can see.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there she is.
Shimmy, shake, shake.
Yeah.
The actress Celia Rose Gooding is a Broadway actress. So,
all right, now this allays your fears. Okay, so here you see the spacesuit. Here you see all the debris, and there's the Enterprise
intact,
looking fine. Yes, although its Bussard collectors aren't lit up, but we won't get into that. If you notice, the Bussard collectors are not lit up. But I don't know what that is. It's like we don't want to wake up on that table.
What happened?
Yeah, what happened? And is that who they're
Wait, back there. Whose eyes? Who is that?
That looks like Spock. No?
I don't think that's Spock. It's hard to tell.
Don't think it's Spock.
Okay.
Wait. In the background.
Yeah.
Next. There's another ship in the background. It's a D7. It's a D7.
You're right.
Or.
Yeah. Wow, that's a shortcut.
Oh.
Woo! He's got something interesting on here.
Yeah, that was the same thing he was wearing in the shuttlecraft, which is sort of like,
Yeah, I think you're right. That's a Klingon. Or is it a Romulan ship? Wait a minute, look at it.
No, it's a Klingon. It's a Klingon.
Are you sure? It's upside down.
It is upside down. You're right.
Oh, all right. Okay. All right.
I mean, we see Enterprise doing barrel rolls all the time these days.
Yeah,
so.
You're right. Yeah. Interesting. That's Spock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Spock, and
I don't know who he's reaching out for. Can't tell. Okay. Well, interesting.
A lot to take in there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Cool. Well, gents, I don't know. Any special thoughts or theories on the new season coming up?
I think it's going to be great. and part of me is hoping that I may be hoping's the wrong way of putting it, but it's like I'm wondering if they're going to have a long-term gag going on with the chief engineer of the Enterprise, that every season, for whatever reason, it's going to get a new. Because I can't believe they've got Carol Kane signed for more than 1 year. 1 year for this.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they do, but
they might. I mean, it might be like I think they have a new chief engineer
every season, right?
Yeah.
Until we get Scotty.
Until we get Scotty, yeah.
There is apparently the Celia Rose Green, who plays Uhura, saying how while we lost Hemmer, much to Keith's consternation.
I'm still salty about that. Thank you very much.
How do you think he felt?
Yeah.
But apparently he's going to return. I don't think he's going to come back from the dead, but I think they may do a flashback of some kind. So we may get to see have a bit of Hemmer.
And that actor knew from the get-go his character.
Right.
Yeah, he knew immediately. Like when they sat him down, like just for one season, we're going to kill you off, and he's like,
right.
Well, at least I know it's better. It's like there's certain people who are like, when you get killed, like you're an actor on a show, and you're like, you look through the script, like, do I survive this episode?
Right.
Okay, I did. Or they call you in, you're like, oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my!
I think this is going to be a fantastic season. Yes.
Yeah, I'm like Keith. I'm very excited about this. It might be as much affection as I have for the original Enterprise. I might like this Enterprise a little more because it feels like what the Enterprise, like if Gene Roddenberry had if the technology and the money, like in NBC or Paramount was willing to pony up.
Right.
I think we would have had a ship that looked very much like this.
Desilu,
yes.
Yeah.
So, but the technology was not available.
It's a cool looking ship.
It
very
is a
cool
very
looking ship.
Yeah. Yep.
And
and I think they've got a nice built-in explanation as to why it feels bigger on the inside than the TOS ship, and that is because there's half the crew.
Yeah, it's a smaller crew.
Yeah,
and I guess they start putting up walls.
Right.
Like when they take an old movie theater and divide it up into a whole bunch of smaller theaters.
Because Pike definitely has a better looking cabin than Kirk did.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everybody had the same cabin on TOS. I mean, they just used the same set.
Yeah.
They just somebody would come in and dress it differently.
Yeah.
That is just one of those things I want to just hand wave away and not worry about, because I really do like the new interiors of this Enterprise.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what?
Well,
I don't care.
Have any problem. I don't have any problem with that explanation.
If we ever get Kirk in command of this Enterprise, I hope that they just keep it the way that let him have Pike's fireplace.
I think that the when Kirk takes command of the Enterprise, it might be the end of the series.
Sure. I'm sure it will.
If we get to see that, which one would be. Part of me thinks that would be super cool, but that also means it's the end of the series, which would make me sad.
Right.
Although there is a debate. I've had debates with other friends and be like, because sometimes a show gets canceled, without getting resolved. Happens more often than not.
Right.
But I always feel like, okay, even if you got 2 seasons of a show you really liked, it's better to get 2 seasons than no seasons.
Sure.
A mutual friend of ours was like, what about 6 seasons? I'm like, yeah, that'd be great, but we don't have it's like complaining that, you don't have 6 hamburgers when you just had 2. You're like, well, you just had 2 hamburgers. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's better than no hamburgers.
Right.
So I want hamburgers.
You get what you get. Yeah. You don't get upset.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
No, it's going to be a fantastic season.
It is. I'm really looking forward to it.
How many episodes? Is it 10?
It's 10.
10.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I don't like about the new way of doing it.
I know.
Is that we only get 10 episodes a season as opposed to the 20 or more that we used to get.
Yeah, but I would say all the 10 episodes are really it wasn't. I mean, there's some episodes that I enjoyed more than others in the first season.
Right.
But there was not one that I thought was like, oof, they really fucked that up.
Yeah, true.
They're all, top shelf.
Right.
And I'd rather have 10 excellent episodes than 10 excellent episodes, 5 decent episodes, and then
a final frontier.
And then 5 final frontiers. Like whoosh.
And then 5 Orville's. Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway.
No offense to our fans who love Orville.
Yeah.
I have to say, I really do like the story structure, and I'm not sure if I said this on air before or not, but
what?
I do like the story structure that Strange New Worlds uses, where the episodes are mostly episodic, but there might very well be a continuing through line that's going on, as opposed to the story arcs, the season-long story arcs.
Yes. I mean, they have their place and they're fun.
They do. Picard season 3 was fantastic. I think I don't think that there was a stinker. I don't think there was a stinker in this last season.
No, I mean, I think they stretched out Jack's mystery a little long.
Yeah.
That's true. They kept saying, and now it's time to find out what your secret is.
Yeah.
And then we watch the entire next episode, and they still haven't told us. But at the end, now you find out what your next secret is.
Now you'll really die, Scott. Jedi. No, this time.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. I was stiff. Let me try that. But I agree with you, Keith. I like these sort of self-contained episodes. There's a beginning, middle, and end. There's a problem. They overcome it. Move on.
Well, but They made a point of saying they're going to continue to do that because they like the idea that somebody could just decide all of a sudden to tune into Strange New Worlds, never having seen any, and be able to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that was the model for TV for decades.
My God! Yes.
They wanted people to be able to tune in any episode and not feel lost.
Right.
Like you might feel if you were watching Lost, even if you'd seen every episode. I say that as a person who watched every episode.
Yes.
But you need to. I do like this. It's sort of a bit of a retro vibe, but it's also improved with, like, I would say Una's storyline. We find out that she's, she's enhanced, and then Pike says, "Don't worry about it. I'm in your corner."
Right.
And then she gets arrested. Somehow she's found out, and we're going to get to, I bet the first episode will be her court martial.
Right.
Probably.
Right.
And, I like the fact that they don't just ignore it. Like, as much as, again, I love the original series, but arguably Edith Keeler might have been Kirk's, one of his great loves. He had a number of romances, but a real, heart, he really fell for her pretty hard.
Yeah.
And he had to let her die, which has got to be, hard, how do you get over that? But next week, he's off to whatever the next adventure was. I don't remember what the next episode was after that. But it never came up again. Never. It was, and that's the thing. Is they would go through these traumatic things, and then next week it's business as usual. There's a soft reset, and any trauma has been erased.
Right.
Nobody ever says, "Hey, remember that time you thought you were a Native American shaman?"
No, it's not ringing a bell.
You fell in love with this really hot Indian chick, and Native American chick, and I remember that. But you almost had a kid. Oh yeah, shit. So I think this is sort of the sweet spot. This is the Venn diagram, the overlap between serialized, most TV, which is very serialized, and you have to see every episode to know what's going on.
Right.
And the old school, drop in anytime. So
right.
Stop wasting money on iCloud. This charge of stick makes
Sorry about that. I was trying to see if I could quickly grab, and I can't, the court-martial trial scene.
Go watch that for our viewer. Because I don't think we've got any comments, but we've got comments enough amongst the three of us.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
But you go watch it. It's like maybe a minute long. Maybe.
Right.
But it's
I've seen it on YouTube. As a matter of fact, I see it right here. Star Trek: Strange New World. Una's trial begins. That's what it's listed as. So, if you haven't seen it already, go look it up. And maybe we'll even drop it in on next week's show or something to look at. But yeah, it's a neat little scene, and it's got neat little bits in it.
Yeah,
things like you see the old data cards from the original show getting dropped in, and things like that. So,
and her prosecuting attorney is Captain Patel,
yes.
Pike's booty call, from episode 1.
Yeah,
that's going to make it for an awkward relationship.
Yeah,
they're kind of evolved. Maybe he'd be like you
hey,
much like.
Hey, Kirk's old girlfriend ended up being the one that prosecuted him.
That's true.
Yeah, and and Data didn't hold it against Riker when he had to,
Right.
So.
Right.
So let's hope that their better angels, guide them rather than their petty.
Right.
Well, since we see her in the rest of the show, I think it works out okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
Yeah. Right. But all right, guys. Do you have anything else you want to say? Because it's not really. We actually talked for an hour on this. I didn't do that. And poor, I think Scott Taylor hung in the whole time.
Good for you, Scott.
Somebody's been watching the whole time. I can see that.
Thank you, Scott. You're a trooper.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you. So anything else on this?
When does the series start?
15th of
June
15th.
June 15th. Great.
So 2 weeks from this coming Thursday.
Yes.
Excellent.
We have two more movie reviews.
Right.
We're doing Undiscovered Country.
Right.
One of the better films. I think a lot of cool stuff in that.
Yeah.
The last outing for our original crew, and then we'll be doing Generations, which is sort of the handoff between the original series and the Next Generation. Does it work? Your mileage may vary.
Yeah, exactly. Do you like the way Captain Kirk dies at the end of
spoilers?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, come on, save it for the show, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. We're just chomping at the bit to talk about.
That's right.
Well, I think there'll be, like I said, I think we've even found some interesting things to talk about in Final Frontier, which is
we did.
They showed a movie that we definitely watched.
Yeah. It's a movie we watched.
It's a movie we watched. And like I said last week, the distinction of being the only filmed Star Trek offering in the franchise that shows a toilet.
Yeah.
So, hey, everybody else jokes about it. Nobody ever uses the bathroom in Starfleet, but they put it in that movie.
There you go.
Yeah. Not that he's using it.
That would have been really awkward.
Yeah. Spock, I didn't tell me you had a brother. Hang on, guys. I got to take a dump.
Just give us a warning, at least.
Yeah, give us a warning, will you, Admiral? All right. Anyway. All right, guys.
That's it.
I guess that's all we have.
Yes.
Yeah, but that was fun. I'm glad we did this.
Yeah. I enjoyed watching it enjoyed watching the trailer for the first time with you guys.
Yes, I think that's fun. I think that's fun that you saved it. I really appreciate that. So, all right, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your night on Saturday. Have a great holiday weekend. We will see you back again on Thursday for Undiscovered Country, and then Generations, and then we're off to Strange New World.
Yes.
So, all right. You know what? I think I can actually. Can I run us out of here with music? It's going to be the end credits to another episode.
Okay.
There it goes. Voyage home. Wprlds.